What's up, everybody? Time to start another wild week. It's Monday already, man. But
Yeah.
I got to go back to school today, so I'm in a good mood. And it's like life is sort of piece by piece coming back to some kind of normalcy. But anyway, I had a total of one bus kid today. That's okay. I don't have any this afternoon, none tomorrow. But I'm special needs, so a lot of our kids don't come every day anyway. For the first 9 weeks, most of our kids are not coming. They're not going to do away with our bus routes because they know eventually they will come back. But anyway, but it felt good to get up, drink coffee, go get on that bus, fire that diesel engine up, and truck it down the road. Felt pretty good, and so excited about having school back in our area. So we got a few people in here already. Let's see who was first in the house. This Autism Garden, Thrifty Angela, Nettie. Let me get over here. I don't like the way that does. Texas Family Camping, Lynn, aka Farm Okie, Rhonda D, Texas Family Camping, Happy Place Camping, New Horizons, Sue, Lucky Dog Production Moderator, Traveling Salvation, Tumbleweed RV Life. Camping Therapy, I don't know if I mentioned them. Desmond Donders is not only in the house, but he is in the house. Let's see, Posh Cats Camping is here. Uh-oh, double trouble. Posh Cats Camping and Desmond Donders. I don't know if the show can handle that. Red Charles Outdoors is here. Weekend RV and a little bit crazy. And I think that's it for now. We got 20 in the house already. We just been on 2 minutes, so we're rocking and rolling. And we're gonna get this together. So let's got a few things. You know, we talked about the other day about not promoting channels in the chat, especially when we had a guest on. So what we're going to start doing, because we're always out to help channels. So what we're going to start doing toward the end of every show, 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes toward the end of every show, we're going to have meet and greet. In that 15, 20 minutes, I'll mention it. And when I mention it, we will, or if one of the Nettie or Felix types it in the chat or something, because sometimes I may forget. Within that 15 or 20 minute window, if it works out without interfering with something we're doing with our guests, we're going to have meet and greet. That means you can drop things about your channel, videos coming up, if you need so many. We just don't want to spam it up with, come sub me. We don't want to ask people to come to your channel. You can throw out, hey, I'm 20 away from 500 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or I need 1,500 watch hours. That's okay. We just don't want to start asking people. Y'all know that I'm telling y'all stuff you already know. But anyway, so we're going to start doing that 15, 20 minutes towards the end. So that'll be something we do. That's why the stream element says don't do it until we ask. That way, up until that point, it's all about the guest. And so that's what we want it to be. We want the guests to want to be on our show. And we want them to be the center of attention. And, which, that's hard to do with two rock stars I have up here with Nettie and Philip. So, but anyway, let me see what else. Get some housekeeping done before we get wound up. Tomorrow, we got Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It. Tomorrow night, we got Chasing America. Wednesday, we got our neighbors here, Britton Family Homestead. Thursday, I'm taking the day off. I got a dentist appointment. I'd lot rather be here, but I got to go get my teeth cleaned. Friday, Bone Daddy 2. Monday of next week, caravanning with the Westies. And Tuesday morning of next week, we got Roy and Becky. And then Tuesday night, we got Mr. S Travel Quest. So that's a little bit up to that point. We got a ton of awesome channels coming up. And I want y'all to mark. I very rarely highlight one out of it, but we got a young lady, and I don't think any of our other channels that's coming up would mind me giving them an extra shout out. But August 25th, Tuesday night, we got a young lady coming that can sing. I mean, sing. She's from here in my area, not far from where I live, and we share the same last name, but I don't even know these people. Never met them, don't know them. Her dad and my dad has the exact same name, like first, middle, and last name.
No way.
They're from the exact area, or you know what I'm saying, within a 15, 20-mile radius of where my dad's family is from.
Wow.
You got to be related. You just don't know.
You gotta be.
Yeah. So, but anyway, August 25th, Tuesday night, y'all be here. Also, that connection has led us to a couple more connections. I don't even know if I've told Nettie and Felix yet, but they are connecting us up, and I haven't made connection with those contacts yet, with a couple more people that are awesome singers. I've done heard one of them. So we may be getting back to some singers. It's hard to book people that can sing. I mean, they're usually they've got a lot of people that want them everywhere, and so to get singers on here is tough. But you guys will want to be here August 25th, Tuesday night, hour and a half. Young lady is, I think, 12 years old. Nettie and Felix has heard her. Wow, y'all have not heard anybody like this young lady. And so y'all gonna love it. But so mark your calendars now. We have a lot of good channels coming up, but it's rare that you find a 12-year-old that can sing like this. And so it's gonna be entertaining for everybody. And so, but today we have a rock star with us. We have our friend from Desmond, Donders, Mr. David, and y'all know what else makes him super awesome, special? That I mean, we could be brothers, and we are brothers in some sense. He is part of a small group of people in this world that I just so happen to be part of the same group, and we are ham radio operators, and that is a small group of people in the world has license and or the capabilities of running a ham radio. And I did not know David was a ham radio operator till right before the show. So that made my day. We've been talking ham radio, and Nettie and Felix was over here thinking we was talking Japanese.
Your AKA radar.
Yeah. So what's up, Desmond Donders?
Hi there. Can I just first say I definitely cannot sing.
Well, see, we're in another club together. I can't sing. I will say something though, that if things go bad real quick and the cell phone towers is down, you always want to come to people like me and David because we can get a message out.
Yeah.
So a little bit of ham radio facts. All the major disasters in the world, you know who the first people to get sent in to restore communications? Ham radio guys. We can restore communications to an area in a matter of hours versus a matter of weeks or months.
Yeah. In the motorhome, I've got almost an identical setup as I've got in the house, and it operates off 12-volt solar power. So I can be, how long does it take to drive somewhere if the towers go down or there's communications? I'm not the only one. There's others in the area, but I'm completely independent, off-grid in the motorhome.
I have a go bag behind me, and in it, I have a 2-meter ham radio, but I also have an attachable tree antenna. You chunk it up in a tree, and so you can get a signal out. And that's something I probably need to put one in our camper. And you just never know when you're going to be camping and it all goes south. But I have a 2-meter in my truck.
Yeah, what I've got in the motorhome is I've got a DM710 from Kenwood with the 2 meters and UHF, and that goes up to a 5/8 whip. on the roof, which has got a short mast, which can go up to about 15, 16 foot.
Oh,
On the back of the van.
All right, Felix has got a question.
So in the U.S., you guys have to have like a special license or training or something for that, correct? Do you have to have that in Scotland too?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I really don't know anything about ham radio, so
Yeah.
I just knew you had to have some kind of a license or something.
There's 3 levels in the UK and most of Europe, and it's the foundation, the intermediate, and the full. They call the exam the advanced, but it's the full license, and it just gives you different abilities, different power, different bands to operate on. A foundation license has to use bought kit. A intermediate license can start to build his own kit. If I wanted to, all my kit could be self-built. And then it's 10 watts, 50 watts, and only 400 watts for me without what they call notice of variation. I can apply for 1 kilowatt. But to be honest, I've never used more than 100 watts, not felt the need for it, not being able to communicate.
When you're talking about these watts, that's like how much distance you're going to get?
No, it's the power.
What's that mean? Yeah, so the more power you have, the better distance you'll reach with your communications. Is that right?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
It's to do with the ionization of the atmosphere. Our foundation licensees can be as successful as talking around the world, if you like, as somebody running a kilowatt. It all depends what the atmosphere is doing, what the ionosphere is doing, and where your signal goes and whatever. There's a mode called Whisper, and it's amazing. The idea behind Whisper is that the radio is tied into the internet, and it tells the server, I'm transmitting on Whisper 500 milliwatts on the 20 meter band. And then you get reports plotted on a map of where other radio hams or other listeners are picking your signal and saying, yeah, I'm hearing that signal from Japan, from Australia, and that's with maybe even as low as 10 milliwatts, 1 milliwatt. So it's not always about the power.
Interesting.
But to go with the back to the setup there, I've got the Kenwood TS480, and the reason I picked up these 2 rigs for portable operation is they have a separate operating head, and then the main radio can be hidden away remotely. So under the chair in the RV that Lindsay sits on, there's a big battery bank, my radio bodies, the switching for the radios, and the cables that go out to the antennas. And in there, then I just have the 2 radio heads sat in front of me, and they swing in and out. So when I want to use them, I just turn around the captain's chair, swing the radio, and they're there in front. And antenna-wise, I've got a little 77s as well. I've got a telescopic pole with 10 meters of wire up the middle of it, which goes up, and I have an on that. And I can switch in a coil as well to make it more efficient on the lower bands. And I've got a set of whips and a mount as well on the back. I keep 20 meters on there most of the time, but I can go out and I can put 80, 40, 60. I've got 20, 17 and 6 meters whips, which I can pop on the back to operate when I can't put the main mast up. So I can keep going. As I say, it's all battery powered with solar backup to recharge the batteries. I've run special event stations from that setup, and I can cover, as I say, from top band through 6 meters and 2 meters and 77s.
He's Mr. Ham Radio. He's got the stuff. I just got little bitty stuff.
Now, Lindsay Oki had a question, Gary. She wanted to know, where is he from?
Scotland.
Scotland I'm based in Scotland now, and I've lived here for 5 years. I moved up here with my parents, screaming and kicking. Don't want to go to Scotland. I want to live, down here. This is where my girlfriend is. I was 15-year-old. Moved up to Scotland, and I didn't want to go back. Leave me alone. I'm staying here. I met my wife up here. I've worked up here. I joined the Air Force, did 22 years in the Air Force, and they managed to get me out of Scotland for about 8 years in that 22-year period. And then I was back up here, and I've lived up here ever since. It's the place to be. It's a lovely place. Anybody who's watched my videos, most of those places are within 60 miles of home. Only when we go away on what we call a longer donder, we go away for a week, 10 days, do we go further than 60 miles from the house. It's, yeah.
So, all right. So I know who you are somewhat, but some of the people in the chat may not know who you are. So what is Desmond Donders like? What do you try to push with Desmond Donders, and how did it get started?
It got started. Desmond, by the way, for everyone, let's start with that, is the motorhome, and a Donder is Old Scots. There's a, I think I say it in one of my videos recently, there's a difference between a Donder and a Donder. The Gaelic word comes out to Donder, which is just go for a walk. A Donder is just to walk aimlessly. You don't really have a plan, and you end up somewhere, and that's where you were going.
Okay, so that would be me, Nitty, right?
Yeah.
Daydream Donders.
And basically, it started off to somewhere to put the videos and the photographs that we were taking, so the family could see them. And then it developed a bit more, and I started editing things more, and then somebody said it might be a good idea to do what I called Havers at the time, which now is Wednesday Waffle. So on a Monday, we do a photo diary of where we've been recently. We're usually 4 or 5 weeks behind. And on a Friday, it's video and drone footage of where we've been, just showing where we've been and chilling out and relaxing. We try not to do drama. And the Wednesday, I call them Wednesday Waffles or Wednesday Wisdom, is where I maybe pick on something that's happened during the week, or I pick, a subject, or something has riled me and I want to talk about it. I talk about it. My favourite topic is litter. Quite often go on about litter and picking it up and why people drop it and what have you. This week, I've just finished filming it. I've not finished editing and loaded it yet. This week's Wednesday Waffle, somebody said something in one of the motorhome groups about the NC 500, which is a road around the north of Scotland. And it's a lovely road, and we've been doing it for 35 years and still not completed it. But somebody said, make sure you top up with fuel and shops and shopping before you leave, because there's no shops or diesel en route. And I start from the premise of all the starving people in the northwest of Scotland, because they haven't got shops and they haven't got diesel to go and get shopping and what have you, which is what teed me off this week. And it's basically saying there are shops, there are petrol, there's petrol, there's gas, there's diesel. It's all there. You've just got to look for it. It's it's there.
Not on every corner, but it's there.
But it's there. Yeah.
Sort of like living where I live. No, I'm just kidding.
I agree, Tracy. Best country in the world. I'm so glad my parents brought me up here now. If you'd asked 15-year-old me that, you wouldn't have got that answer, though.
So what kind of rig do you guys have?
It's what you call a Class C. but it doesn't have the bed over the cab. It just has cupboards over the cab.
Yeah.
It's a 2.8 litre turbo diesel engine. Gives me about 27 to 28 miles per gallon.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. The more modern ones, it's 15-year-old, and the more modern ones are capable a little bit more.
Wow.
But he does us. He's, as I say, 15-year-old, and it's perfect for us. But as I say, it's what you call a Class C. It has a fixed bed, toilet, shower, full cooker, sink unit, fridge. No telly. We took that out. We've got a window to look out of and see Scotland. We don't need a telly. We read it if we can't see it. It's dark. Listen to the radio, or I'm playing on the radio, talking to somebody. And yeah, it's a great layout. We don't have a dinette as such. We have a sofa down the side of the van and two captain's chairs at the front, so that it's nice and open and wide, whereas a dinette would close things in.
So, what made y'all decide to go with the rig you got? Did y'all like build up to it? Like me and my wife started camping in a tent, then we went to a pop-up and worked our way up.
Many years ago, we were gifted. I think they were glad to get rid of it more than gifted. A tent by my in-laws. It was the kind of thing, you went on holiday for a week. It took you half the week to put it up and the other half to take it back down. And then we decided we'd buy our own tent, something smaller, something just for by the time we decided this, Craig had come along, and he was about 2-3 year old. And we bought this tent, and day one of the holiday, we put it up. Day two of the holiday, we were looking at things to fix it. We fixed it that afternoon. Day three of the holiday, we were looking for more things, and so on and so forth. By day four of the holiday, Lindsay was looking at caravans while I was looking at things to fix the tent again. It was an expensive tent as well. We took it back, got our money back, and put a little bit more to it, and bought our first caravan, which was a trailer RV. It was 10 foot long, had all the mod cons, no heating, a gas lantern, and a single cold water tap, and that was it. We gradually progressed over the years, and then we bought different caravans. We bought exactly what we wanted, and we ended up owning a one called a Bessacar, and a Bessacar 495, about 5 meters long, full of everything we wanted. But you had to make up the bed every night, and you had to go and get water. And
that stinks. That takes the whole fun out of being on vacation. You got to make the bed up.
And we were getting bad backs. I've got a bad back. Lindsay's not so bad, but she has a bad back. My legs are bad. So it was getting a chore to put the legs up and down on the RV, put it all away, put it all up, set it up. And we sort of decided that we needed to change. And that's when we decided to go for the motorhome. And the layout basically came down to, it's got to be the same standard as what we've got, and it's also got to have a fixed bed, etc., etc. And I had an idea what I wanted, and I'd seen the layout in the magazines and on the internet, etc. And then one day, Lindsay, jumped a bit. I'd found one, and I found a couple, in fact, down in England, and we planned a holiday to go and have a look at them, and perhaps take the van down and come back with the motorhome. One day I found one just along the road. When I say just along the road, 80 miles along the road, 60 miles, sorry, along the road. And then just that week, Lindsay was on night shift, and she was going from a night shift to a night shift, which means a really short weekend in the midweekend. And I spotted I'd spotted this one, as I say, and Lindsay was woken early on the Saturday, and she wasn't going to get back to sleep. It was kids and people working on their cars, etc., in the street. So I all innocently said, let's take a run out and just get you away from the house. We ended up in the caravan dealers and, let's have a look at them. And she knew by then. And I couldn't get out of it. We sort of decided what we wanted, found what we wanted, and fell in love with it as soon as we saw it. We put the deposit down there and then, went away, and 3 weeks later we came back with the caravan to trade in and the money to pay for what is now called Desmond. And that's how we ended up with, sounds quick and easy, but it took us best part of 35 years.
Wow. So, because I just don't know, but like in Scotland, like here, financing is a big thing, and people finance big Class A's, and they have RV payments as big as house payments sometimes. Do y'all do that in Scotland, or is it all cash? You have to pay cash.
You can do it, but I had some health problems, and I'd retired, and I had an Air Force pension which I was drawing anyway, and that was so I was getting that monthly and that, and we decided that with Lindsay still working and that, we had more than enough to pay the mortgage, etc., so I could cash in my the pension I built up in the time, in the 15 years I've been working in Civvy Street, and that is what we used to buy Desmond.
I got you. But they do, like for just the general public, they do offer financing.
Yeah, you can pay it off in loads of not so easy payments if you wish. They do
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, those payments are not that hard until you paid on them like 5 years.
Right.
Then they get tough, especially when you have to start doing repairs on that RV and buying high dollar tires for that Class A and all that kind of, putting a roof on the top of it or keeping it serviced and all that kind of fun stuff.
Over here, you can finance it up to 20 years.
Wow.
Crazy.
He got a Kenneth Oaks. He got what we call a Class C.
Sorry, it's a Class C we have, or your equivalent of a Class C. We don't call them the same thing.
So, do you guys have like here we have a campground? It seems like within every 15 or 20 miles there's a nice campground. Do you guys have a lot of places that you can camp?
There are a lot of sites about, official sites where you've got to be a member of a club or one or two of the big clubs. There you go. There's posh cats talking about financing, and the interest rates are just too high on the longer term ones. They're ridiculous. Oh, yeah. But there's lots of campsites about. There's two big clubs: the Camping and Motorhome Club and the Caravan and Camping Club. I always get that one the wrong way around, but I'm not sure. And they own a whole string of sites. Then there's independent sites around. There's a few other bigger sites. It all depends what you're looking for in a site, and none of the sites in the UK hold what we're looking for. So we mainly do what you call boondocking, and in Scotland there are thousands of places you can go and find somewhere nice to park up for a few days.
Right.
So,
do y'all have and our communication, I get most of what you're saying, but sometimes I miss something. But do y'all have, like here we have, not in my area, but out in Arizona and places like that, we have a lot of government land you can park for free. Do y'all have a lot of that?
No. We have national parks and we have Forestry Commission land. Now, the Forestry Commission land is supposedly public land, but it's not. And they can be funny, but they're changing. It's in flux at the moment. They're actually changing their rules and regulations because somebody has pointed out to them that what they were doing is technically illegal in Scotland. We have something called the right to roam in Scotland, part of the Land Reform Act. Now, while it does not allow for motorhomes, if you're backpacking and that, you can literally park somewhere, and as long as you're not obstructing or on somebody's, you can't do it in my back gardens sort of thing, that kind of thing. But if you just hop over a hedge and at the edge of the field, out of the way, you're not doing any damage, you can camp in a tent. Now, that rule explicitly says that you can't do that in a motorhome, but there isn't a problem because there's other rules which say you can do it elsewhere and what have you. But the Forestry Commission was stopping people from doing that.
Wow.
And they're not. They've had it pointed out that they're not allowed. So as part of that, they're opening up their car parks again. I mean, it's a long thing, ongoing battle with the Forestry Commission, and you can park in their car parks again up here. Basically, there's some lovely spots, there's some busy spots, so we don't use them often, but Lindsay says Google Maps is my friend because I spend
love Google Maps.
Yeah, loads of times finding out where I want to go and then finding somewhere where we can go within that region.
Posh Cats Camping saying they love all this information they're getting.
Yeah, I research and research and research about the stuff so that when I do get the knock on the door, I've got the answers for the people. And you don't get nasty about it, just deal with it. We had an incident a couple of weeks ago where the police actually came. Now that's the technically fourth time ever that we've ever had the police come to the van. Incident 1 and 2 were probably the same one. One was the night before, 1 in the morning, and they were just asking us if we'd seen anything because there was something going on, and we hadn't, and they were quite happy. And the guy the next morning who came by to check that we were okay and had we seen anything or heard anything overnight, which we hadn't. And that whole incident turned out to be a hoax, 999 call, 911 call, which was for people who were lost in the sea at the place. The third time was a police car. We were parked up in a forestry car park in Perthshire, and the car just came in, had a look and drove off. But this time somebody actually set the police on us, and it was to do with the COVID thing. But the police came up and said, no, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. And I said, yeah, I know, blah, blah, blah. Offered to go. And he said, no, stay here. You're in the perfect place. You've got your own toilet, water, everything you need. You're not causing anybody any hassle. You stop. And the guy was in the wrong. And I'll try not to, Trev. I'll try not to. And that's the only trouble we've ever had. The thing is, we don't go about like some of them do. You see it in my videos all the time, where the one at Lockingdorp a few weeks back, where there was tents and rubbish and all sorts just left lying around. And it's, that's when you get the local knocking on the door and being upset and the police coming out and that kind of thing.
Yeah, a few people run it for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were on our way down to clear it up and somebody got there before us. It was excellent.
So Happy Place Camping's got a video out. That's a couple weeks old now, about her going around picking up litter. Everywhere she went, she would find these ugly decals just laying in the brush. She was picking them up.
They burn really well in the campfire, though.
They burn wood. They stink, though. They're full of glue.
How often do you go out, David? You're not full time, right?
Not full time yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure we'll ever be full time. I have to see a doctor quite regularly, and I have to renew prescriptions quite regularly. So it's kind of difficult. And Lindsay's not ready to pack up work yet, as well. But we'll probably once it happens, we can probably go out 3 months at a time. But in the summer, we go out every weekend. Basically, we do it on daylight savings. Once the clocks go forward, we're out every weekend, and once they go back, every other weekend, unless I can get away with more.
So who enjoys this more? You or the boss?
We both
It
enjoy
sounds
it.
like he does. No.
No, we both enjoy it. I was a little bit worried the first night we went out, thinking Lindsay's not going to like this, and we're going to end up not with an expensive mistake because we planned it, but we're going to end up, still going to sites, still going to this, that, and the other, and doing this and that and what have you. And I was lying there the first night thinking, she's not going to go to sleep. She's not going to go to sleep. And in the end, all I heard was, excellent. And yeah, we both love bird watching, being out in nature, and it's just what we enjoy doing. It's
You said you guys pretty much just stay within like 60 miles or something of home. Do you ever go into any other parts of Europe?
At the moment, we haven't. Not with the motorhome, purely because Lindsay's working at the moment, she's not limited with time off, but she can't always take a longer time off. So that drive down to somewhere we can get a ferry to Europe, etc. So we're a little bit limited from the point of view is she has to take a couple of weeks at Christmas and New Year, depending on how the holidays fall. That can be as little as 10 days or as many as 17 or 18 days. And we go away for that time, but that's not a problem. Then she has to take a week at the end of February, the beginning of March, because the factory closes down for what they call a deep clean, and basically where they do the heavy maintenance. When an oven or that, it can be fixed during the year. They keep it going till the factory shut down, then they strip it down, rebuild it, and sort it all out during that time to keep things ticking over as much as possible. So she has to take that week. So she basically then gets 2 weeks where she can go when she wants to. And she, rather than take them together, she splits them up into single weeks to break up the time between the end of March and December when she gets another holiday. So June and October we usually go for a week.
So do you have any place you want to go outside of?
Oh yes. Yes. We've got plans. Once Lindsay decides it's time to retire, we're Norway is on our list. Austria, Eastern Europe, and we've got a date in Spain. The next big eclipse that comes across Europe, we're hopefully going to go and visit that, see that. But yeah, just
That's cool.
So,
we go away longer distance trips during that time off. At Christmas, New Year, this time we were down in the south of England, the east of England, and then back up. This particular longer trip, we're heading north. There's not much more north of us in Scotland, but we're heading north to see some of the places we haven't seen for a while.
So somebody asked how much petrol is over there.
Gas is about 112.9 pence per litre. Diesel's 3 or 4 pence a litre more than that. Yeah, it's expensive.
how much does that work out to a gallon there, Felix?
Well, 4.5.
Google? I mean, Felix? Felix knows
Google.
more than Google.
Nope.
To the American gallon, multiply roughly by 3. It'll give you an idea. It'll give you a fairly close approximation.
So when I
So
mean,
what would that be? $4 or $5 a gallon?
Yeah.
when I'm in Uganda, I just pay the person.
Yeah.
Billing.
Right?
And I tip them. In Uganda, you can't pump your own gas. You pull up, and they pump it, and then
You
give them a
can't
tip.
in Oregon either. Oregon pumps your gas for you.
Yeah.
We mostly pump our own. In fact, a lot of the places these days are self-service. Like the supermarket ones where you put your card in and start filling and take your card back out when you pay for it.
I haven't seen a full-service gas station since I was in high school. I actually used to work at one.
Yeah, when I was at school, I worked on a Saturday and Sunday in the stations, just filling cars, wiping windscreens and
check the oil. We would check the oil, wash the window, and put gas in.
Yeah.
Back then, we hardly ever got a tip. Forever Best Friend said she thought it worked out to $5.65 per gallon.
Yeah.
And did you see our Vision-O-Matic Living's comment?
I missed it.
I did too.
They really, really love his channel.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me one time that Lindsay actually does all the photographs, correct?
Yeah.
And you do the video footage.
It's quite ironic because years and years before I met Lindsay, photography was my thing. And then when we started doing this, I was still doing the pictures. And then we started doing video, and Lindsay didn't like the video. And we sort of drifted, and Lindsay started taking pictures, and I started doing just the video. And now it's almost exclusively. Lindsay has her own camera because she, doesn't like mine. So she has a small Canon M100, the mirrorless thing. And she just snaps away, and I pick the best ones and put them in a video, which goes out with a bit of music and a commentary. Basically, I read my diary that I fill while we're away. And then the list of the birds and wildlife we've seen, and a little bit of history about the place, if I remember. It's and she has turned into a fantastic photographer, but she won't listen to anybody tell her that. She takes some great pictures.
She does take great pictures.
Yeah.
So Forever Best Friend said that her husband's family is from Scotland, and they plan to go there next year.
Excellent.
Oh, wow.
What part of Scotland? Forever Best Friend. It'd be interesting to know.
So, are y'all content with your rig you have now? Is that the last one?
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Lucky Dog. Yeah,
I just saw it too.
Well, Lucky Dog, I can't get over there on a Friday night because we can wander again.
Oh, Lord.
So
we could go head to head right here.
Yeah.
I retired from trivia.
We would have to have a red buzzer.
Uh-huh.
We love our rig, and I've got absolutely no plans to change it at the moment. I say at the moment because you just don't know. Circumstances might change. He's in at the garage at the moment having some repairs done.
Y'all said I talk funny. I don't want to hear it.
What?
I do wish I had my beard back.
Tracy says she can listen to David all day. I don't know if she can listen to you all day, Gary.
With my hearing and my pitches that I can hear and I can't hear, it's a struggle to keep up with what he's saying. So if I miss something, don't be offended.
Yeah.
I'm trying my hardest to
No
cipher
problem.
it out.
I've got a crazy mixed up accent. I lived in the northwest. I was born in the northeast of England, and as an accent comes from there. I lived a lot in the northwest of England. I picked up a changing accent there. We moved to the west of Scotland, and I picked up a little bit of the west of Scotland. Then I joined the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, in the Air Force, you tend to, or they don't try, it just happens. You kind of lose any accent as such. And although I've lived up here as long as I have, I was past the age where your accent changes, sort of thing. So I kind of got, a lot of people think I sound as though I come from the south of England. But it's just a nondescript that comes from being in the forces. If I go home and spend some time with my brother, then the northeast accent certainly comes out. But I don't know. I haven't got an accent. No, I'm not.
This question on the screen now, I would thought would have come from Thrifty Angela.
Yeah, me too.
One side of me, I've got water, and the other side, my trusty mug of tea. I'm never far from a mug of tea.
Well, I got to drinking hot tea a couple years ago. I like mine with minute. I drink it more for when my allergies is messed up, but I can drink me a little bit of hot tea with some honey in it. But I don't want anything sweet in my coffee. I want it black.
So what time is it over there? Are you about 5 or 6 in the evening?
It's coming up to 10, around about 10 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah. It's I think it's a 5-hour difference, isn't it?
It's almost 10 here. Coast, 6 hour difference.
So Thrifty Angela may be the Thrifty Angela may be the subscriber of the month.
She's actually in the chat. She brought her sister.
So what's her sister's name?
Let me find her.
It's tough when you're a rock star. That's all I can say. David knows. He's got about 2,200 subscribers or more. How many you got, David?
Last time I looked, it was 2106.
Wow.
Lucky Dog Productions. Yeah, my son was actually born in Cornwall. I did a couple of years at RAF St Morgan near Newquay, and he was born in Truro Hospital, Trelisk. And he no longer has a Cornish accent. In fact,
okay, he's looking in there. Liz Walter.
Liz Walter. I don't see it.
Yeah, I saw her in the chat. I haven't seen her chat for a few minutes, but she was here.
She'd have to be a hoot if she's Thrifty Angela's sister. That's all I want to say.
She's a wine drinker too.
She's a wine drinker? Oh, it's a family tradition, right? Hank Jr. said that usually was.
Yeah, that part of any part of the coast. The only bits of Scotland I don't like are actually the cities. I hate being in a city. Just to answer Texas Family Camping's question, any time is tea time.
Yeah, or coffee. Tea or coffee.
Tea for me. I used to be intravenous coffee.
Yeah, that's pretty much me.
But the doc said I had to stop drinking coffee at one stage when they were trying to track down what was up with me.
Oh, yeah.
I came off the coffee and had to drink something. So I started on green tea, and now it's tea all the way, all the different teas for me. It's yeah. At the moment, I've got Earl Grey in the cup, but prior to that, it was green tea with jasmine.
Did you see what Angela said, Gary, about her sister?
Oh, that box wine.
Yeah,
Carry that box with her.
there's only
You
one
want that?
problem. There's only one problem with that boxed wine. We used to take it away all the time, and it says lasts up to 6 weeks. It never does.
Yeah, it's probably a day for that.
Why did you drink it all? Is that why?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, me.
That's funny.
So I'm a big coffee drinker. If you followed my show a lot, intravenous, not yet, but getting close.
Yep, I had my coffee, and now I have my water.
That's some nasty tasting water, I bet, out of that mug. So I've been on water because I had 2 cups of coffee before I got on the bus.
Mm.
Well, that's the nice thing about Scotland as well. The water is really good, really tasty.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
They mess around with it because that's what they say they have to do. But if you get up and away from the cities and the towns and that, and just get it naturally filtered, it's lovely, nice and soft, and it's the perfect accompaniment for a dram and a nice whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
So is YouTube what you thought it would be, or is it better or worse?
It can be all of that.
Yes.
I asked that before, and it's all the above.
It's
a
I go
complete
through phases. I go through phases with it. I enjoy doing this kind of thing. Live streams and going on live. They're great. But I go through patches where I think, why do I bother? Why do I bother? There's 2,000 people subscribe to me, and a video might get 50 or 60 views, and that. But the good thing is that I have my videos. I've just completed the video for Port Gordon, which was not this weekend, but last weekend, the weekend before that, and put them up. But they won't go up until first week in September. So I've got that. If I would turn around tomorrow and say, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore, by the time those videos have gone out, I'll have probably edited more videos to put up. Anyway, it just gives you that time to think about it and calm down a bit, and that. It's usually when YouTube have done something stupid.
I don't mind that maybe I don't get as many viewers. I'm sort of a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. You really have to ruffle my feathers to ruffle my feathers. I mean, you really have to irk me to get me going. But when you do, now it's on. The Indian in me comes out, and I'm on a warpath. And but I'm not big on grudges or anything. But Nettie can tell you the past 2 weeks, I've had a rough past 2 weeks with behind the scenes stuff with our channel. And people it just amazes me of some of the messages I get. And I just not comment, direct messages to me. And it amazes me that makes people happy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lindsay doesn't see it, any of that. I have my channel set that everything has to be moderated. Everything's got to be approved. So anything like that just doesn't get through. It's not what we're about.
We moderate a lot of ours, but still, I get emails and stuff, and you wouldn't believe some of the stuff I get from some of the people I get from. It's the people that that are the worst, and I love them. It's the nitpicky things. It ain't the majors. It's
Yeah.
stuff that there's, you know,
Yeah.
I love them all. I'm not saying this. It's just you. And I like some of the messages that I get that frustrate me, but what I don't like is it just seems like all the time it's something.
I go through phases with that. I think it's when
Yeah.
I go through something, but it's those kind of things which put me into the why do I bother cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
But I have that, as I say, 3 or 4 weeks buffer, which allows me to take a step back.
Yeah.
Think about
And it's constructive criticism. You just have to do your show or do what you want to do and not worry about the rest, and just it's constructive and not let it get to you. That's just what it comes down
It's
to.
not the constructive stuff that I mind. I mean, that has a purpose, and that's great because it helps you to improve what you're doing. It's the trolls, basically. I think is the best way of putting it. They're not happy unless they're making you unhappy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, what I get up in the morning and I think, you know, why not do this? And then I come in here to the chat and I'm like, man, I could do this forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get in here with people that are like-minded, you know, and granted, you know, things go wrong, but that's life.
Yeah.
My kids on my bus don't act right every day.
Yeah.
And
you're
I
gonna get everywhere.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm just to the point that we do what we do and we love everybody, and if we try our best to bring everybody along for the ride, but sometimes people choose to get off and I can't control that, you know.
Yeah.
No.
But I appreciate rock stars like you being on our little show.
Yeah.
I'm no rock star.
You ought to heard these ladies over here giddy. They were so giddy when they heard that you were going to be on our show.
Yep. We appreciate you being here. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I like YouTube. In fact, I know there's people say it's not social media, but it is because of things like this. I do Facebook because these days, mainly because I have my group on there, and I put my diaries and pictures and things go on there, and my family do actually look. I've got family members who are members of the Facebook group that they don't watch the thing. I like Twitter because it's easier to shut out the nasty. Facebook, I'm leaving more and more groups because it's getting to be a nasty place.
Yeah,
I hate Facebook. I hate Facebook.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I didn't have missionary friends all over the globe, I would have gotten rid. I have 2,700 friends on Facebook, but it is a nightmare. I hardly ever check it anymore. If it weren't for my house being for sale, I wouldn't be on there as much. But
I post some pictures and scroll quickly through my feed, and if my mom or my sister or something posts, I might even like somebody's post, but I really don't stay at all.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mostly look at my group. I've got a limited number of groups which are and have remained sensible, is probably the best way of putting it. But the rest and it's over opinion, not fact. And it's just, it gets nasty, and it's not going to let me out.
Yep. There is a Randy Mullenix. I think I'm pronouncing his last name right. I met Randy and his wife, me and Kyle and Ryan, at the Soda State Park the other day. And y'all know what I forgot to do?
What?
Get a picture.
Oh, did you give him a sticker?
I did go give him a sticker, but I forgot to get a picture. And so they've been jumping in on our live streams. I appreciate them being with us.
There's a question.
I hope I don't. Maybe we will meet up again. They're not far from here. They're from up in the Tennessee southern Tennessee area. And so hopefully we'll meet up again at DeSoto State Park. But my apologies. I did not think to get a picture. That just, my mind was just shot, I reckon, that weekend. And so,
Yeah.
but they were a super nice couple. They were camped right beside K&R, and we met them as we were tearing down Kyle and Ryan's rig, getting ready to head home. So,
and there was a question from Forever Best Friends.
Yeah, I see it. It's varying. England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland did their own thing because the health is devolved to each of the local governments. But it's not that bad up here in Scotland, in our part of Scotland. Aberdeen, which is 60 miles down the road, is currently locked down again on a local lockdown. There's been some lockdowns on a wider scale further south in England. I'm not sure about Wales or Northern Ireland, but the only effect personally and directly on me, apart from losing a friend during the time, was the fact that we couldn't go out. We were kept indoors for the period of lockdown, and it's been great over the last few weeks to be able to get out, first for day trips and then back out for the weekends and that's really helped. What is worrying at the moment is the fact that things seem to be drifting a bit as things open up. We've got that hotspot just down the road from us. It was always going to flare up because it's, if you like, the hub for people travelling offshore for the oil industry in the North Sea. A lot of them travel through Aberdeen, so you're always going to get something. They've managed to control it until they started opening the bars. And once the bars started opening, then there's been a kick-off.
Mm-hmm.
And I should imagine that's what happened in other areas. As soon as things started to open up, people started to think it was all over. And
And Gary Campy Therapy had a message for you saying that the devil only attacks those that are doing God's work.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Man, for some reason I got a Stream Elements message in there twice. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
People think doing these live streams are easy, don't they, David?
Well, I actually stopped doing my own live streams, and we were finding it hard work, hard going. I enjoyed doing the streams. The problem was the only time we could really do one was Sunday night, because of Lindsay works a shift. So the shift she works, she gets in 9 o'clock at night. So by the time we've had something, or she's had something to eat, and we've got turned around, it's 10 o'clock at night. So during the week it's out. We're away at the weekend. So coming back on a Sunday was the only time we could do it. And we did a few Sunday night and enjoyed doing them. And it was good fun. But it was tight, it meant, we could have an extra couple of hours here, but we need to get home because we've got to get sorted out. We've got to do some shopping and get ready for the live stream. And in between that, we've got to do the washing and eat and all the other things you have to do. And we were finding it hard work, so we stopped. We may go back to them at some point. And I've my Wednesday waffle, I've often thought perhaps I should move that back to a later time and do that live sometimes. But on the other hand, maybe that's not a good idea because there's some heavy editing goes sometimes to cut out the stuff that I really don't want to go out. I get quite irate sometimes about some of the things. I have to.
Yeah.
But we'll no doubt do them again. Just a word on Instagram. Lindsay uses it a fair bit, and you'll see her commenting on my stuff. But I really only use it when we're away and have a connection. And when we sort out the photos, the days, what we filmed during the day, I take off the cameras and put on my tablet and back it up. And we have a look at what we've got and see what's what. And I sometimes post some of Lindsay's pictures at that point. And that's really what I do on Instagram. So you'll only get pictures and new stuff on there when I'm out and about and we have a connection. Which it's actually getting better and better. It's not very often we don't have a contact to the internet these days.
So on like here, if we need RV supplies, we have Walmart and they carry a lot of the RV supplies, but not everything. But then we can drive an hour and we can go to big RV super centers and buy pretty much anything we want. Or we can get online and order it. Is it that way over there? Is RV supplies readily available?
Yes, they are. We've got a shop locally, about 10 miles away. There's a couple more in Inverness, which is 50 miles away. There's the one we bought Desmond from, which is 60 miles away. So there's plenty locally, and there's more in the central belt. But mostly, unless it's something specific to an RV that I need, a specific part, I'd go to a hardware store or get it online. Would be the way of doing it.
Now here, I know in some countries it's hard to get Amazon stuff. Here, Amazon's our big thing. Can y'all order from Amazon and get it within reason? Or is the shipping expensive, or do y'all have sellers in your country?
We've got UK sellers that Amazon deal with. We've also got big Amazon warehouses dotted here and there throughout the country. I think the nearest really big one is Glasgow. And then it's not a long drive from Glasgow up to here to, for a delivery. And they'd be delivering all over the place. But the postal system has its quirks. It's not bad though. People decry it, but for where we are, it's not bad. You get stuff next day without any problem. The one thing that annoys me is when they charge extra to post it up here, claiming that the Highlands and Islands, it's so far away from anywhere. The stuff that goes to Aberdeen, which is not Highlands and Islands, actually doesn't fly into, when it comes in air freight, it doesn't come into Aberdeen, it comes into Inverness. Aberdeen's too busy. So this stuff that's getting delivered costs me £10 extra, but costs Joe in Aberdeen free because he doesn't live where I live, actually drives past the end of my road to get to him. And you think,
that sounds about right.
It doesn't make any sense, but that's the way they do it. And they get away with it. It is romantic and medieval artist on the road. No, it's a fine place. It's derived. Ness is the name of the river, and Inver means bridging point. So it's the bridge over the Ness, and it's the main crossing point for the River Ness in that area. And you can all have a go at saying where I live if you like. I'll type it in the chat and see if you can pronounce it.
This ought to be good. Can I give the redneck pronunciation?
Treb of Posh Cats Camping and Sue had a very good go at saying it. Here you go. It's coming up now. Is it?
Oh, you wouldn't want the redneck version of that.
Can you imagine the trouble I have on the telephone when I'm ordering stuff and giving my address?
Yeah. You might have been hung up. You might have been
Fockabers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that almost sounds dirty.
Yeah, I know. Don't say that fast.
Yeah.
You need to really make sure you get that O sound out.
Right.
You can imagine it on a poor phone line when you're talking to a call center or something, and they.
Oh man.
That's right.
Word laughing at you, Felix.
You said a word in one of your videos, and I commented. I can't remember the word. What was it? What did I thought you said something, and it was the wrong. I can't remember what it was.
It was the name of the bird.
And I said it was something.
You said it was strange, the bird names that you gave them. And I came back and said, well, it's really called a willow warbler, but it'll be known in our household now as the willow wobbler forever.
Wobbler. Yeah. Because I couldn't understand.
Well, it was the accent.
Yeah, when I read that, I'm like, oh, okay.
That's what you said. But we saw them at the weekend as well, willow wobblers.
Oh, man.
Oh, Lord. There comes Thomas Jordan in the house, artist on the road. I'm sure I missed a lot of you guys. Mr. Breeze, Honey and Me. Honey and Me, I've been running your playlist. I'll have to start it back up in a little bit. Going Green Mom.
She was around 200 needed. I don't know what she's at now because that was a couple of days ago. I know some people are supposed to have been running her list.
There's Mary Jones. I might can go ahead and start running that, but don't kill my...
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't hear it in the background, I'll start playing it. Y'all can let me know.
Good morning, James Cantonese.
So I got Honey and Me started back. Let's see here. What's going on out here? So any of you guys in the chat got any questions, tag Nettie or Felix in it, and we'll ask away.
Are you monetized, Dave?
No, I don't. I don't do it. I was monetized, and I was spending so much time sorting out things and doing this and doing that. I tell one story about the stupid thing I was having problems with. I got a copyright claim on a video that had. It was a 6-minute video, and it had 3 2-minute bits of music in it, but they were all identical. It was the same 2-minute bit of music from Ben Sound. And I got a copyright claim, and it was on the middle piece of music, not the first piece, not the third piece. So this is before the current system of claims. If anyone's had a strike or claim or whatever recently, they do it differently. And I did the I went through the then system and couldn't get it. So in the end, all I did was delete that piece of music and reload the video. No strike on it. No strike at all. I have had one recently under the new system. And actually, within 30 minutes of it popping up in my email and on my studio, it had been dealt with and gone away. So they have sorted things out. So who knows? I might one day.
I win 99% of my disputes.
Yeah.
I've had, I don't know how many copyright, they're calling them claims now. So you can dispute them, but if you lose the dispute, and then you appeal it and you lose, you get a strike. So I never appeal it after the dispute. But if you dispute it, a lot of times they won't even come back and fight it. So I win about 99% of the ones I dispute.
I mean, the daft thing about the one I disputed, though, was that the piece of music they were disputing was from the YouTube audio library. So, I mean, what do you do? But it was the work that was involved for the money you were getting wasn't good. So I'm not monetized, and I don't know whether I'll bother or not in the future. I don't want it as a job. I don't really want it for the income. It's more, it's a release. It's somewhere I actually enjoy. Hello, can you everybody hear me? Trev's just said he's lost sound.
No,
we hear you.
Okay. The brain's stopped working.
Yeah.
I enjoy the editing part of it. Really, I could edit videos all day and every day. I get lost in it. Just making changes and that, and the time just disappears when I get into editing. In fact, I got wrong at about 1 o'clock this morning. Are you coming to bed or what? Because I had the editor open and I was playing away. Oops. But the working on clearing up disputes and finding out why this is yellow and that's yellow and this is whatever, I just, for the return just wasn't worth it. So I'm not monetized. And they keep, every time I'm round about the level with the hours, and some months I'm below 4,000, some I'm above. I'm about, for the past year, it's sort of at that level. And they keep, every time it goes below and then pops back up, I get the reminder to monetize. And one of these days I will, but I don't know.
Do you have a merchandise store?
There is one, but it hasn't been updated in months. It's I did it because people were asking, and then I put them up. It's got the old logo on and things like that. I think I've sold 2 mugs over the couple of years it's been up. I don't really push it either, and I don't update. I really should. If I was updating it, the new logo would be on, and it's not that much different. I just put the Scottish flag in the.
The way that with like stream elements, so you can edit stream elements to take your PayPal payments. That is sort of like a super chat because it thanks them in the chat and whole 9 yards. And with that, just like I was talking to Bill when nursing our travel bug yesterday evening, that essentially makes them a monetized channel. The only thing they don't get is the few pennies that a monetized channel gets off ad revenue. And when I say pennies, I literally mean pennies. And so really, they got the potential to make more money than a monetized channel.
Yeah. Just on the thing with there's a couple of things there. I've lost out who said it. Somebody asked about the monetization. No, once you're monetized, you don't have to stay above the 4,000, I believe. But if you're not monetized, if you fall below it and then click above it again, you get the reminder saying, apply to be monetized type. I can't remember the wording. And there was, I've got a PayPal as well on my link, but I don't push it. I'm not on every video. I don't think I've ever said I've got one. And PayPal takes less money than YouTube does. So to be honest, anybody who pushes PayPal and all the other things rather than the YouTube super chat and all the rest of it is probably going to be better off than a purely YouTube monetized.
Yeah. So, I think I've made a grand total of $3 this month off ad revenue.
Mr. Breeze asked a question a while ago and wanted to know if you've ever visited St. Andrews, or is that just like a tourist town?
No, I've been to St. Andrews. It's a university town primarily, and obviously it's known for the golf course, and it's a nice place. Lindsay's actually from Fife, which is the county where it's in, but she's from the west and it's on the east. And for anybody who's coming across to the UK and is lucky enough to get a slot on the old course at St. Andrews, I've got a tip for the first tee and for the first hole, because I have been lucky enough to play it when I used to play golf when I was in the Air Force, and I was given this tip. Any of you who played golf, can you imagine it's the home of golf, etc., etc., etc. You're on the first tee, you've got your driver in your hand, you must be nervous going to take that shot. Put your driver away, it's 2 5-irons to the green. Don't bother with your driver. 2 5-irons will see you on the green. That's the tip I was given, and I did it, and it doesn't half feel good getting a par on that hole. But it's a lovely town. They're a bit funny about motorhomes, though. There are places they'll allow you to go, and there are places they won't. And because it's the kind of place it is, a touristy place, very much so, it does get some abuse from the tourists, including people like me. It's a nice place, though.
I gotta apologize. I made $4.03.
No, don't spend it all at once.
No.
Well, that's not bad. What today? Day 11?
Yeah. Maybe you can buy some coffee in like 2 months.
Yeah. So I've nearly made what, 40 cents a day.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I wonder if many people who do depend on a YouTube income ever work out their sort of hourly rate and how low below the legal pay they actually are.
Yeah.
Well, see, I do 10 hours. I do 11 and a half hours a week live. And so I do 2 hours a day live, except for the weekends. At least on Tuesday, I do 3.5 hours live. And so break that 40 cents down. I'm getting rich. I'm getting rich and fun and laughter. And sometimes I let the little tedious things bother me. But if I put all that aside, I'm still having a blast. And so that's where I'm getting my wealth from, is my happiness. When I come in here and we have fun and we laugh and we cut up, I get to do something I enjoy. I get to meet people from all over the world that I never would have got to meet. And that is my pay. My pay is these two yahoos sitting beside us over here, hanging out with them every day. I would have never got to meet them. I've never met them in person yet. We are going to meet one of these days. But, I broadened my family, and it really got big when I started doing the live streams. And it got more personal as well. So,
yeah. Lindsay and I have met a few people from our YouTube channel. Trev and Sue from Posh Cats. Who's advertising his hourly rate there at
I saw that.
How much is that to the dollar? About 2 cents. Y'all's money's worth more than ours, right? When I go to Amsterdam and I hand them a dollar bill, they look at me like, "We got another sucker here." I fly through Amsterdam quite a bit with doing mission work. They love to see me come because I have to have that $10 cup of coffee.
Well, I used to fly a lot with my work, traveling out to the Middle East and traveling to places. And every time I flew through Amsterdam, bar once, they lost my luggage.
Wow.
Yeah.
I brag on that place.
I used to carry a spare set of clothes in my hat carry-on, and then I'd have something to at least get by on until my luggage caught up with me.
I've had one bad experience there, and it was more the airline's fault, not the airport. But now my first eye-opening experience, and Nettie and Felix has heard this story, and you may have as well. I had never flew to Amsterdam, and the first time I was headed to Uganda, and we fly Atlanta, Amsterdam, Rwanda, and Entebbe. And so we landed in Uganda, and we landed in Amsterdam, and I'd never stepped foot in that place ever. And so the first thing you do after you're like me, you drink coffee and water for 9 hours. And so the first thing you do when you get off the plane, go straight to the potty. And so, all the guys on the plane, we head to the bathroom, right? We're standing at the wall doing our own thing. And and you're laughing because you probably know what I'm fixing to say. All of a sudden, I hear this lady's voice. And it is the janitor lady cleaning our bathroom as we do our business.
Yeah.
They don't do that here in the States. That was let's say an eye-opening experience.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, you guys probably didn't have anything she hadn't already seen before, so she probably really didn't care. Just saying.
Oh, Lord.
I agree, Alan. Nothing wrong with our money. Yeah. The worst trip I ever had was via Schiphol, Amsterdam, to Egypt. Now, we flew out. We arrived at Egypt. Bags gone. So I had what I needed to get by. One in the wash, wearing one, and the hotel knew the situation, so they kept it going. The day we were leaving, the guy arrived with our suitcases. Look, there's my bag. There's my bag coming in the door. So we checked out the hotel, got our bags off the guy, and carried them back to the airport. Got back by Schiphol to Aberdeen. No bag. And it was another week before it arrived back at the house. So I'd been away a week and my bag was away for 2 weeks. And all I did was carry it back from the hotel.
So far, they've not lost any of my luggage. I have prepared for that kind of stuff, in case they did. I carry enough clothes in my backpack to get me by. And I can buy anything I need in Uganda cheaper than I can buy it far here in the States anyway. So I carry like my hearing aid batteries, my implant batteries, all that goes with me. It stays with me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I made the mistake of putting my medication into my suitcase one time. And although the suitcase didn't get lost, the bag didn't get lost, it wasn't with me when I needed the medication because we'd had a diversion and landed at a different airport. And I couldn't get at my medication. But saying that, I just made it known to the people in the airport we were in Kuwait, and they arranged to get my bag off the aircraft so I could get my medication. So it was fine.
I was in Uganda one time and my allergies was horrible, and I had ran out of my allergy medicine. And so I had Edgar to carry us to a store that I could buy something. It's not like here in the States where you have over-the-counter stuff. And you go up to a window and they ask you how many you want. And they tell you how much it is each. If you buy very many, they start questioning you. I'm talking about stuff we sell over the counter here. And so I got a little pack of like 6. I didn't get a box of like 8 or 10. I got a little bitty pack. It got me by till I got to an airport where they'd tell me what I wanted, but I had to pay like, triple price. But yeah, when you go to another country, it's a whole different deal, especially if you're a foreigner. Well, I appreciate you being on, David. It's been a blast.
Yeah.
We got any questions out there I'm overlooking?
Haven't seen any.
Well, David, you tell the boss we said hi. And
Jerry Holly just came in real quick.
Jerry Holly slid in the door like he owned the place.
Yeah.
Here you go, Jerry. If you want to come up, there's the link.
Mm-hmm.
Well, David, we'll let you get off here. And we appreciate you coming on. We had a blast. I really did have a blast. It tickles me to death to know that I've got a ham buddy in Scotland now.
Yeah, and I'll listen for your call sign on the bands, and maybe you can have a chat there someday.
Yeah, I will. If I ever get me an HF rig, we'll try to communicate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, great.
Well, thanks very much for having me. I've enjoyed it. And bye, Trev. And see you all again soon. Now, where's the button?
Thank you.
I just want to say hello to somebody. Hi, Fern. Hi, Fern the camper.
All right. Have a good day.
And you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. Was that not awesome or what?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Fern the camper is coming in the door. All right, guys. So what we're going to start doing, and y'all may have seen it and I may have already mentioned it. Last 10 or 15, we'll do 30 today, 29 minutes. We'll let you guys do meet and greet. Just don't use the word subscribe or don't ask anybody to come subscribe. But if y'all want to drop your numbers for how many you like to me to go, or if you got a new video coming out, you guys can do that now. So from now to the end of the show. And we're going to sit up here and yak and interact with you guys for the rest of the show. We're going to start doing this. Try to do it every show. Might not always be able to. But that way, when our guest is on, it's all about our guest. And so, but I have made the mistake of shouting out other people while we had guests, not thinking. And I know that happens. And if we delete something you've done, we're assuming you done it without thinking or knowing. We don't do it out of meanness. We're just doing it out of respect for our guests. So, anyway, so you guys feel free to go ahead. And if you got anything coming up, you can drop that right now.
Fern the camper needs 26 hours.
26 hours?
Yep. And she has a video coming out Thursday.
We need to get
she is close. Wow, she really jumped because last I knew, I thought she was around 600 hours, so that was pretty quick.
I will run that today. I've got honey.
Wait, no, she meant 26. She needs 26 subs.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
I thought she was closer on hours than that. Somebody must have incorrectly informed the public of how many hours she needed, because that was discussed in a live stream. Okay. Anyway, I need a lot of hours too, in case anybody wondering.
Yep, and Jerry Holly could still use a few hours.
Yeah, he was like 100 away, just over 100, I think he said.
Last night, I don't know if he went over or not. I gave him the link. Jerry Holly, we dropped the link for you, buddy.
Oh, congrats, Texas Family Camping. They just passed 400 subs.
Yeah, good deal.
awesome.
Castle Hives is in the house. Castle Hives, I've been eating or using what little honey I've got of yours left in hot tea with Castle Hives honey. That is awesome too, by the way. I've been conserving that Castle Hives honey. I am down to one little shot glass, I call it.
We finally got our community tab. Only took over a week.
Yeah, it took me about a week. Thanks, Castle Hives. I'll be looking for that. Yeah, I noticed you had shared, I think, today's thumbnail.
Yeah, I was playing with it, and I'm like, well, how do I share this? And I'm like, oh, cool.
Facebook. It's easy.
Did Sue say, Honey and me, how many hours do you have left now? I didn't see if she said. Did you see if she said?
No.
No, I didn't see. I'm going back.
Oh, 87 hours. So she's under 200 now.
Oh, for Honey and Me?
Yep. I just ran her playlist not too long ago. It's not been 3 months, so.
I'm running it now, so. I'm actually running it right now.
Mr. Breeze says everyone needs to go to Happy Place Camping and watch Jesse ride the goose. It's actually a swan, but but it is pretty amusing if you haven't seen that one. I think that was the after quarantine challenge thing. What are you going to do after the quarantine ends or something like that video? So Texas Family Camping, how it works. You can watch a channel's individual video, I've been told, twice a day. You can run their playlist also once every 3 months. So even though you may watch a channel's actual individual video, you can still go back and run their playlist. Oh, no, Honey and Me said 179 hours.
Oh, okay. It looks like we got 32 people in the chat.
We had 38 at one time today.
Wow.
We've had a good thanks everybody for turning out.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow we got Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It. Tomorrow night we got Chasing America. Then Wednesday we have our neighbors out here close to DeSoto State Park, Britton Family Homestead. There's our epic RV adventure coming in the door. That retired bunch. Well, they're not retired from working. Retired from live streaming. There's Fern the Camper. We got to get Fern the Camper rescheduled.
So how many views have you had on your house, Gary? How's that doing?
The email or the text that I hadn't talked to Tammy. The text I have been junk mail. So I don't know if Tammy got any emails. If she has, she hasn't sent me. We've showed it once, but we have gotten a lot of hits on the Zillow ad. 209 views and 3 saves. It's
so
the
you went up
one,
another day.
it's the number one viewed house in our market. The second most viewed house in our market has 54 views.
Trevor Duro came in, Gary, and asked you a question.
First day back was awesome, easy. Didn't have but one kid. So, and we don't have problem out of them. So, we don't have any problem kids. I have a group of good ones. Me and the kids have a deal. I'll be good Mr. Gary if they be good kids.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to have any problem selling your house. We looked at it last night. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears went into buying this place. And so, hate to get rid of it, but you do what you got to do.
It's a new beginning. Yep.
Honey and Me wants to know if she can view your house online.
Yeah, I think I have a link. I'll have to find it. You're asking somebody that's not very tech savvy.
Did you send the link to me or no? Or Zillow? I could throw it over there. Do you still have it up?
I can't find the link. They had the link earlier. Anyway, if you type in and go to Zillow and type in the zip code 35986 and do houses over 200,000, you will see the one that's 235 with 2,000 square feet. And you'll probably see it. I can show you You'll know if you're on the right one. I thought I could. My phone is not cooperating.
I got a link. I put it in that.
Okay, thanks. Nettie's going to
You're
put the
welcome.
link in the chat. So if y'all want to look at it. So. That is 31 years of hard work right there. So, but that's life. It's just like anything else. You play the cards you're dealt. The biggest thing you don't do is give up. When you give up, then things go really south. You have to keep fighting.
There's a reason for everything. Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's just hard to see that sometimes, especially when you've been through 4 or 5 world disasters and you have to rob your retirement, sell your home, sell everything you own, cash out all your savings.
So how long are you going to wait before, because I see you were trying to sell on your own without a realtor, right? How long are you going to try to do that if you don't sell it before you would go to a realtor?
Probably 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not in that big a hurry, and the market right now is still strong. And looks like they're going to be, looks like there's some positives in the market that support waiting, not being in a hurry, because my house, I think, is the only house, even if you look on the MLS, which is the realtors, in my town, in that price range, in that size. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they might be one more, but there's not a big selection of houses. And so we can wait a month if we need to. Everything else is selling in a day, but it does, because if you're a realtor, you have a bigger access to more people that we don't have. So I'll take my time getting the word out. We've done showed it once already. I've got 2 people wanting to look at it. So we're going to hold out for the best price, and then in 2 or 3 weeks, if we've not sold it, I might let one of them try to sell it. So
I think that's a good plan.
It really is a pretty house. I'm looking at the pictures.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, if I wanted to move it fast. What?
I emailed it to you, Terry, just so if you needed it, for the Zillow, I emailed it to you too.
All right, thanks. Oh yeah, if somebody bought it today, Artist on the Road, it would be 60 days probably before we'd be gone, because it would take them 30 days unless they just had cash and their own lawyers. It'd take them 30 days to pay us, and then we'll have 30 days to move out. So, and then I think for 90 days, the Postal Service will forward all your mail.
And Artist on the Road wants to mail you something. She can use that address, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying that for. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, Randy, just got to keep moving forward. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Thanks, honey and me.
I'm going to start dropping some playlist here in the chat. So if anybody wants to run some of these playlists, because I've got a list of people that need their playlists run.
And Gary, it looks like Kenneth Oak put up a thumbnail for the spot on Thursday morning.
Okay, good deal. So Thursday.
It looks like probably after your show.
No, he's going to do it during my show because I'll be out that day.
Oh, you're not on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no show Thursday, and Bone Daddy's the last Friday guest.
Unless something just comes up, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It tomorrow, Chasing America tomorrow night, Britton Family Home Wednesday, then I won't be here Thursday. And then Friday, Bone Daddy too.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to 3 and 4 day a week having guests. We know you guys like having interaction with us too. So, and it won't be much longer. Nettie will be with us a lot more too. So that'll give us a whole panel of people without even guests. So, so we're working on some stuff. One of the things we're going to scale back instead of, it's a lot for a guest to be on 2 hours. It's a lot to ask of a guest. It's a lot for them. We do this every day. We can come up with something, but it's a lot for a guest. It's a lot of, it's one thing to be on my show if I'm a host. It's another thing if I'm on Nettie's show or Felix's show. It's a lot more work because you're on somebody else's, show. And so, so we're going to cut that back to like an hour and a half, maybe even less, because it helps the guests not have to be on as long, and it gives us more time to interact with you guys as well. So, and I'm still working on another thing I want to try to do. I haven't figured out if that's going to be a reality yet, but we're trying some other things that we want to make the show more interesting. So we want it to be fun. We want y'all to be here. Even if you're not watching, we want y'all to at least be listening while y'all are hanging out at the campsite or whatever. We want it to be something of value. We don't want y'all to be here just because I come to yours. So we want y'all to want to be here. So, Miss Nettie, I'm assuming that you've not been sick lately, so I'm assuming things are going better on the job front. Good deal.
Yep. After I had a good lecture from my better half to tell me, don't worry about that place. We need to take care of us.
That's right.
And move forward. So that's what I got to do. Yeah.
Well, and it'll be their problem on the last day if your replacement don't have an idea of what they're doing. Hey, Bake a Leg, let's dig it. We got y'all down for in the morning. I'll send y'all a link tonight or in the morning. That'll be cool. Honey and me, I want to be. Yeah. Yep. If you can't train somebody, if they don't let you train them, I mean, what else choice do you have? They sort of stink for the person taking your place because they don't know what to do. But
yeah, I think that's where a lot of it came from because I felt so bad for her. But she's going to go and ask questions with the manager versus me because I may not be able to answer her questions. I don't know where I'm going to be, if I'm going to have service or any of that. So it's going to be what it is, and I just have to remember to let it go because I've been there 10 years.
Yeah.
So I just got to let it go, not worry about it.
Right. Thanks, Cindy Wheeler. We've spent a month getting it ready. I used to build and sell homes. I didn't build this house. And so I like to think I'm picky. And so I was pretty picky about getting stuff ready. And I'm sure I missed things. But I used to, well, I still would buy and flip houses if they were just any deals out there, but there's not. But but anyway, I try to have it looking ready to go. all the time. But it's hard to keep it that way. I think Jerry Holly's going to come up for a few minutes. We got about 10 minutes to go, guys. I appreciate y'all coming. We had 38 in here at one time.
And Jean Bainey, I just saw her too.
Jean Bainey. There's Jerry Holly.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh.
Oh, hang on. About the park.
Y'all got a fire?
Nah.
Oh.
Going back into the station here.
Oh.
Sorry missed you this morning.
Well, we know how you are. Just come in when you want to, I reckon. Act like you own the place.
It makes me want to sing the song. They call me the fireman.
I miss hearing my song in the morning, though. I just don't start my day out right without it. I don't know what the deal is.
Oh.
Did you have a good show?
We had a great show. We had about 38 in here, I think, at one time.
Sell that house yet?
No, we've got people wanting to look at it.
There you go. That won't take long a bit. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well,
You'll get it sold. Won't be long at all.
Thanks,
oh, yeah.
Trevor.
It's going to sell fast.
So, yeah, we're just nervous about what happens after it sells.
Yeah, I know. That's what you got to start figuring out right now, buddy.
Yep.
I had 30 days. So, well, luckily I was already out of it. So,
I'd like to find a house that me and Tammy can redo. Maybe even flip one or two before we move in one.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But Mary Jones is singing your song, Jerry.
I can't see no chat now.
Whoops, we lost Jerry.
Uh-oh.
He hit the wrong button, I think.
Yeah, that button's close on your phone. I almost hit it too.
So my son, the other day, I told y'all, I got the two best kids in this world. Just so y'all know that if any of y'all are new, you'll never have kids as good as mine. I'm just saying. But anyway, the other day my son come home and he had been to a Mexican bakery. And I just want to say that there was not an item in that box that I did not just absolutely love. And so I put my order in for my birthday that he's supposed to buy me a box full of that stuff for my birthday. I'll gain 20 pounds one night.
That's worth it.
Man, it was amazing.
Hey, maybe we'll sell your house. It'd be a birthday gift selling your house, Gary.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. What would be the most amazing thing is us to sell ours or get it under contract and us to sign a contract on another one pending the sale of ours so that we can move out of ours into that one. That's what we would love. And that's what we're praying for. Even if we turn around and flip the other house, if we can move into it, we can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't move very often. I don't know how these people move every 2 or 3 years.
Well, I've done it.
I haven't moved in 27 years, so.
Dad says everybody needs to move every 4 years to get rid of a bunch of junk.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't realize what you have until you make that move. You know, you got so much stuff.
I know me and Tammy's had a bunch of yard sales. We've made about $1,200 or $1,300, maybe more in yard sales. But we probably still got stuff when we start moving out here that we didn't cull the first time that's going to be culled this time.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I found stuff up to, I had 2 sheds on my property. And I had my big one. I thought I pretty much moved everything into the big shed. come to find out, when I opened the old shed, I had 2 truckloads of stuff in there that mostly just went to the dumpster.
Slow momentum now. Hey, speaking of somebody getting rid of something that's awesome, and I know it's heartbreaking to sell, Slow Momentum is selling his bike. And if y'all have not seen that
selling his motorcycle?
He is selling his baby.
Oh my God.
He had it on Facebook yesterday. It is
beautiful.
No,
I saw it in person. That's a gorgeous bike.
So if anybody is looking for a bike that you could not find just anywhere, you need to hook up with Slow Momentum. Go to his Facebook page. He has it on his Facebook page.
We should tell
a beast.
We should tell Bob Adventure he was wanting a bike, but he don't know how to ride though.
This right here is I think it's 26,000.
Yeah.
This is a bike. Yeah. I mean, this is
it's beautiful. Yeah, we've seen it and we've talked to him about it before he decided to sell it, because Mal's been a biker for many years, and it was hard when he sold his, and we know what he's going through right now, because once you're a biker, you're always a biker. Can't get that out of your system.
I was gonna buy me one, and I got voted down 3-1. So I'll have to ask 3 people now. When I say I'm going to buy something, I get told no by 3 instead of just 1.
Let me see.
Yeah, it looks like Gina's going to go live next.
Who?
Gina Payne. She's going live right after you.
I thought RV weekends are going to be Tuesday through Saturday, right?
Yeah, I want to say so. I haven't seen anything come up, but I see
I saw right after me. Okay.
Yeah.
So KT has a 2016 street-wide CVO. I don't know what that means. 20,500 Screaming Eagle 110 rear lowering air shocks. Let me just show y'all this beast.
It is a gorgeous bike. I can't believe he's selling it.
Yeah, that's a custom. CVO means it's custom vehicle. There's only so many of those per year that is made. It's custom, and yeah, you get your own plaque with your name on it. Mal had a CVO as well, and they only make so many of those per year.
Man.
Beautiful.
I wonder why he's selling that. Just don't have time to ride it, or what? I know he had it in the. They had it right next to where I stayed down there. It was a gorgeous bike.
Yeah.
That is a beast.
Felix needs to buy that.
No.
Should look good. Should look good sitting on that, wouldn't she?
Slow Momentum said he found a bighorn with solar. He's wanting to sell to buy that. To buy the bighorn.
He's wanting to buy a camper.
So
I wonder if it's who had that bighorn in Quartzsite that has solar on it.
Jesse's just put in his Christmas.
Nope, not getting no bike.
So I do sort of feel good right now because I'm not the only one that Felix bosses around.
Yeah, Jones into Travel. That's who you're getting, Slomo. I've seen their rig. It is Jones into Travel. That's a bighorn that they have in Arizona. And I've seen it. It's all set up with solar, got Battleborn, got all kinds of cool stuff.
Is that the one he's looking at?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It is awesome.
All right, guys. I hate to cut the fun off, but we got 30 minutes to Gina Payne, and I know she would take my hide slap off and make a rug out of it if I run over on her time.
30 seconds. Not 30
seconds.
Go. All right, guys.
Minutes.
Love you guys. I'll see you in the morning. Take a leg and let's dig it. Love you guys. See ya.